Hey guys, it's Michael Joe with the Vintage Trading Post. It's St. Patty's Day weekend, March 14th, Sunday, 2021. What I want to talk to you today about is a combination of a couple things, but more importantly to me is I'm going to get on my soapbox and complain a little bit. A lot of you guys that follow me on here know me for a long time. You know, I spout off different things through my videos of what I predict might happen and whatnot. So I kind of want to talk to you guys about the entitled whiners of MTG. These people that just complain and bitch and moan about everything. You know, I was polite throughout the last couple of years I've made these videos about people talking about the bubble. I'm so sick of those people, and it kind of ties into this. So, a couple of years ago I talked about alpha, and I talked about beta. I talked about all the 93, 94 sets for that matter. I'm not going to waste anyone's time here. You know, for me, back a couple years ago, alpha was already priced out. So I kind of stayed away from it, but I don't knock anybody that collects it. What I was trying to push was I think people should get into Arabian, the first expansion of MTG. And, you know, that was probably about 2 or 3 years ago. And, well, lo and behold, the prices have changed dramatically from 3 years ago. There's been 2 spikes. One retraced, and now we're in a new spike. About, I don't know, a year ago, I started talking about how antiquities was starting to get hot. And I told everybody, hey, you know, I'd start looking into antiquities. For those of you guys that wanted to really go beyond the realm, I thought maybe Legends and Dark. Well, again, March 14th of 2021. I just watched a PWCC auction a week or 2 ago, and some Dark cards went crazy amounts, for crazy amounts. People are buying this stuff up. Lately, I've noticed Legends is red hot. Anything 9.5 quad or better is just getting snatched up at, not ridiculous, but at crazy prices to me. And they're only crazy not because I don't think they're worth it. I do. I think they're worth this price, but I think that it's crazy because 6 months ago they weren't near this amount. And I think that I tried telling everybody now is the time, mind you, a couple months ago, now was the time, or then was the time to start buying that stuff. Well, some of you guys listened to me and some of you guys didn't. Last night I watched a Chains of Mistopheles sell. It was a 9.5 quad, and my friend had it listed for $3,500, and it got sucked up within, I would say, about 5 minutes of it being listed. There was a Eureka quad. I forgot what that went for, but it went for the asking price right away. Again, both of those cards sold within 5 minutes, guys. Now, that tells me a couple things. That tells me that, A, maybe my buddy sold it too low, but at those prices, those were pretty high. $3,500 for a quad, I thought was, again, not high, but I thought it was just perfect. I think that's what the market value is. Maybe I'm off on the value. Maybe it should be more. So I'm going to get on my soapbox now. I'm going to complain a little bit. I had a couple people reach out to me over the last 48 hours, and they're like, hey, Mike, you know, I really want to get 9.5 Abyss, 9.5 Chains, 9.5 Nether Void, 9.5 Moat, you know, a whole bunch of Legend stuff. Some of them are even asking for some Arabian stuff. And I'll tell them, sure, no problem. Well, hold on. I want 9.5 Quad or Quad Plus. I want the fancy stuff. Okay, sure. You know, I mean, if I could find it. Somebody reached out to me and was looking for a Library of Alexandria, but they only want 9.5 quad. Well, I want a 9.5 quad. So whatever. I came up with the prices that, based off the market, what they're selling for right now, and I give it out to these people. And right away, oh no, that's insane. No, I'll never pay that. No, oh, that it can't be. No. Wake up, guys. This is what it's selling for. You guys should have took my advice a couple months ago, and you didn't. And now the people who did take my advice, who took my advice, I mean, they're doing pretty well. They bought the stuff a couple months ago. Now they're trying to flip it, or they're just selling some of their extra stuff now, and they're making money. You know, people that want Arabian. Oh, I want 9.5 Arabian, but I want to pay what everyone was paying 3 years ago. No, that's too bad, you know. That is. I don't know what to tell you people. But then you got some people that have the audacity to sit there and say, well, that ain't right, and there'll be a retrace, and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's fine. I don't disagree. There probably will be a retrace with this, as there always is. But if a Chains of Mistopheles quad that sold last night for $3,500 And 12 months ago, it was going for 1,200. Okay, so 1,200 to 3,500 in 12 months, we'll say. I bet you'll never see that card below $2,000 again. Not in 9.5 quad. And that is what I've been preaching about all these years. Market goes up, levels, goes down a little bit, then flattens, and then the next spike comes and it goes up even further. It never goes back below what it was originally priced. But the people that don't believe me on this, 2 years from now, I'll be like, oh, I want a quad chains for a 9.5 for $3,500, and I'm going to say you should have listened to what I said to you a year ago or 2 years ago, whatever the time frame may be. I'm just so sick of hearing it. Just like I'm sick of the people talking about a bubble. Guys, it ain't a bubble. This is a great collectible game that's going up in money. And yes, common sense tells you can't go up forever, but here's the thing. It keeps going up, though. And it will continue to go up. Sealed product. Not a big fan of sealed product, but I want to talk about that. I watch sealed product pricing. And why? Well, because that affects everything else. That affects the already graded 9.5 basics and the quads and whatnot. It's kind of the chain reaction to where the pricing goes on stuff. I watched in one group, a sealed group, where somebody's looking to buy a Legends box, a brand new booster Legend box, and I think they offered $30,000. And a whole bunch of people started chiming in. $30,000 isn't enough. Here's the thing: is $30,000 a fair offer? Sure. And you know what? I don't think we should make fun of anybody for offering $30,000 for a box of Magic cards. However, is he going to find a box for $35,000 in this market? Absolutely not. He's dreaming. That'll never happen. Not till the retrace comes. And even then, I don't know if he's going to find it for $30,000. But people tried to be nice in this post, and a couple people I know was like, hey, listen, just so you know, if PAC's going at X amount, I don't think you're going to find it at that price. And he got so offended by this. And that's the funny thing is, I'm just sick of these people being offended by the truth. And he even made a comment back about, well, that's just an opinion. No, that's not an opinion. That realistically is what's going on right now. An opinion would be like, hey, I think you're freaking crazy for offering $30,000 for a box of boosters when it's probably going for more closer towards 40. That's an opinion. I'm just so sick of people whining about stuff, and they think they're entitled to pricing. It goes back to the reserve list people, the anti-reserve list people. Well, it would open up the game. It would bring newer people to it, and why. I'm so sick of hearing this bullshit, because that's all it is. It's just complete bullshit. Listen, years ago I told you guys, go buy revised dual lands. And back then, we'll say an Underground Sea. We'll use that as the example, because that was the hot card. It's still kind of the hot card. I think a raw near mint was going for like $300, $400. And everyone's like, all the anti-reserve lists, oh, no. The reserve list will get broken up within the year, and they're going to reprint it, and it'll drop in money. And okay, now let's fast forward. We're 3 years, at the very least 3 years from where I saw this conversation and where I interacted with these people. And the reserve list ain't going nowhere. It's not. They may reprint cards in different ways that might be similar to a dual land, but they're never going to reprint the dual land. So, what is an Underground Sea revised near mint going for? I can't even tell you. I'm guessing $800, $900. But I guarantee if I went up to these anti-reserve list people today and said, hey, I'll give you a near mint for $300. What they were bitching about 3 years ago, guarantee you they're going to take it now. I know what you're saying, Mike, especially the guys that are watching this that are for or against the reserve list. You guys are saying, well, Mike, we didn't have the chance to get the cards you did back then. That is complete bullshit. Because here's why. Yes, maybe I got dual lands when they were $20 a piece. Okay. How did I know they were ever going to get to this price? Nobody did. But that's the gamble. And people that take the gamble should be rewarded. They should. All you guys out there that listen to what I've been saying all these years and are going out and are starting to flip cards, make money, reinvest it into new stuff I'm telling you to reinvest it in, good for you guys. That's what everyone should do in this game. And down the line, your main goal should be to get all the cards you want to get in the grade that you want to get. But I don't want to hear any of this bull that, oh, I didn't have the chance to get the card in the grade, in the price, or I didn't have the chance to. You did. Everyone did. Okay, now, yeah, 5 years ago, maybe you were 16, you weren't working, and you didn't have enough money, whatever. Okay, 4 years later, you have the chance to buy it now. You just don't want to spend the money on it. Okay, well, we'll see 3 years from now if I'm laughing at you guys again. Because 3 years from now, when an underground sea is going for $3,000, I'm going to say, geez, look at that. At $900, you should have bought it when you should have. And what are you going to say? Oh, no, I didn't have the chance to buy it. No, you just are cheap and don't want to spend the money. Now, I understand times are tough right now. I do. But this is not a hobby that you could get into the golden age. If you can't afford it, then go into the silver age. Go into the bronze age of cards and collect that. When I was collecting sports cards, back in the 80s, 89 Don Ross, 88 Topps, all that stuff. Oh, I want a 1952 Mickey Mantle. And they're going to say, well, you're going to have to spend, $10,000, $20,000 on it. And I was like, no way, I ain't spending that. I should have. If I had the money back then, I should have. Because now it's worth a lot more, especially if it's graded. So, again, I just have to get on my soapbox and make fun of the people that, A, are anti-reserve list, B, the people that think this is some type of bubble. It's not. You guys are pathetic. Get over it already. Just get into the hobby now while you can before 3 or 4 years come by, and then you're going to whine that I didn't have the chance. No, you do. You're just cheap or afraid and don't want to get into it. To the people that want something for nothing, and this is what really irked me last night. I had a guy waste my time for buying some raw beta cards I have. And he, oh, well, how much do you want for these cards? And I told him, we'll say $500 for a stack of beta cards I have. Oh, okay. Well, can I see a picture of them? Sure. You guys know me. I'll show you pictures. I'll show you videos. I'll tell you guys what I think they might grade at. Whatever. I'll be honest with you guys. So I start showing them videos and pictures. Well, I didn't realize I had some extra beta stuff in my binders that I was going to keep for myself to grade eventually. Well, this guy sees this, and right away he starts, well, I want those too. Okay, cool. I'll add those in. Now I'm asking for $800. Oh, okay. Well, how about we take out the original ones that you had listed, and now I just want the good ones, but I want them at this price. No, you don't understand. $800 is my asking price. Well, yeah, but we have to haggle a little bit. No, I don't have to haggle. My asking price is $800. You don't want it, move along. Instead, this guy wasted about 2 hours of my time, and at the end, nothing happened. And that is part of the reason why I'm pissed today. I understand people want to get some nice stuff, and they want to get it as cheap as possible. Well, that's the name of the game, guys. Everyone wants the nice stuff cheap. But you got to respect the seller. At the end of the day, I don't care what you guys think, unless the seller, like in my case, unless I'm really desperate to sell it for money, the power is in my hands. The power is in the seller's hands. They own something that not only another person might want, but several other people might want. So if they're asking us a little crazy, so be it. Last night, they saw a PSA 10 Walking Dead get sold for $50, give or take. And people started whining about, oh, that's crazy. Who the hell would spend that money? Well, there were 3 bidders on that. 3 bidders. That means 3 other people wanted that card for roughly around that price. Is it name recognition? Sure, it's a Walking Dead card. So maybe somebody wants it for the name. Maybe somebody's collecting it for the sets. I'm a set collector. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's still sold for $350, give or take, okay? So what is that telling us? That's telling us that somebody out there thinks it's worth that much money, and they paid that much money for it. So I don't know what to tell you guys. The other 2 guys that missed out on it, I guarantee if they see another one in the next couple of days for sale, they're going to bid close to that, and I think that will slowly become the average. I made the mistake of commenting on the post and saying that's semi-normal. Again, $350 is a little high for me, but $250 for a PSA 10 Legend Common, guys, that's where we're at. That's where the market's at now. Not even 5 years ago. A year ago, would somebody have paid that? Absolutely not. And I would have laughed about it. But I tried telling you guys, it's coming. Legends is going to explode. Dark already exploded. There's a secret cult of Dark fans out there, and I love it. because I think dark is amazing. It's getting up there in price. Legends is red hot right now. I mean red hot. And any of the iconic stuff, you guys are going to pay through the nose at 9.5 quad or better. You just are. You have to accept that. Now, if you want to wait for the retrace, if there is a retrace, more power to you guys. Hold off on it. But I don't want to hear, oh, a year ago I had a chance to buy a Chains of Mistopheles 9.5 quad, and it was listed for $3,500, and I thought it was too expensive. Well, it sold in 5 minutes, and you know what? 3 years from now, I bet you it's worth a lot more than that. That's where everything is going. Alpha a couple years ago started the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Alpha was the original. Alpha is still one of the highest, and it is the highest valued graded Magic cards as a whole set. I'm telling you right now, I've been talking about it for the last 3 months. Beta. Guys, beta. Beta is so undervalued. Why? Again, Alpha for rich people. Unlimited for the poor people. So upper class, lower class. And then you got beta in the middle. And there's a lot of people that say, well, beta is just too expensive. Or they say, well, if I'm going to spend that much, I might as well just go to Alpha. Otherwise, I could spend less and get unlimited. Sure. But right now, beta, in my opinion, hasn't really been affected by the spikes, not dramatically. Maybe the power, maybe the duels, but everything else has kind of stayed relatively close to where it's been for the last year or two. I'm telling you right now, that's going to change. And then you guys are going to sit there a year from now and say, damn, those who listen to my advice are going to be like, yep, it did go up. And those who did are going to be like, oh, I still want it for the price of 2 years ago because, hey, for 3 years it stayed stagnant. I'm telling you guys. Again, I apologize. I don't mean to whine back at anybody, but I have to vent a little bit. It's 2021, so don't tell me about 2020, okay? I don't want to hear about what prices were in 2020. If a card sells for a price, there's a couple bidders on a card, and we'll say it's $350. Well, that must be what it's worth right now if 2 or 3 other people want it for that price. And maybe a year from now it goes back down. I can't tell you what's going to happen in a year from now or 2 years from now with the littler cards. At the end, guys, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I want to take a moment and just congratulate everyone that has been there with me over the last 4, 5, 6 years collecting graded cards. Those of you guys who've been around for 20, 30 years in Magic, look at your collections, look at your value, look at what you spent on it, and look at what it's worth now. And you know what? I guarantee you, say your collection's worth $100,000, and you go to try to sell it, you might not make the $100,000, but you'll probably make $80,000. And you're probably like, I really want the 100. Well, that's true. But look at what you spent on it. You probably only spent 10 or 20 grand on it. So we got to be content with what we make on it. Right now, I have my collection listed. Those who know me know where it's at. It's on eBay. And, a lot of people ask me, Mike, do you really want to get out of the hobby? Absolutely not. No. My price on there was reflected to where it was just prior to the spike. I raised it real high. Not even real high. Higher than what it probably is. Knowing that if someone gave it to me, I'd take it. But now I got to take it down. I got to readjust it. I sold some stuff and I bought some more stuff. And I added more value to my collection as a whole. But now my price doesn't reflect that. So now I got to raise my price. And that's what I intend to do. But if no one's biting on it now, that's okay. I don't really care. I want to keep my collection. I really don't want to sell it. But again, if somebody would offer me my asking price or close to it, I got to make the best decision I can make at the time. And that would probably be selling it. But again, I doubt that's going to happen, and that's why I got it listed the way I do. And anyone that complains to me and says, you're crazy, you're asking too much. Yeah, you're right, I am. And you know what? I don't care. That's my you're going to get stuck holding on to these cards? Well, that's my problem, isn't it? Not yours. For you guys that are selling cards, don't ever let someone push you around like that. Well, it's only worth $500, and you're asking $800 for it. And you tell them, yeah, okay, well, that's my problem. And I bet you a month, maybe 2 months go by. And you're going to get someone that's going to give you $800, maybe more. And you're going to be like, see, took Mike's advice. And that guy that was asking for me 3 months ago for $500, he's nuts. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I got today. The market's still red hot. Legends real hot right now. If you don't believe me, go online and look at the sold prices. Legends is very hot, especially the iconic stuff. Even some of the lower stuff now we're starting to see. Until next time, guys, keep doing your thing. stay away from these whiny people and people that are bitching about, wanting stuff for nothing. They're going to be here forever. We can't get rid of these people. So anyway, guys, that's it. Hope to see you guys really, really soon. I just lost the screen here for a second. I will try to make another video sometime soon. Take it easy, guys.